Do you like drinking? You do? Well, go to the pub. The pub, they serve alcohol, and alcohol'll get you drunk. And being drunk is class. The pub's opening... Oh, wait. No, sorry, you can't go to the pub. The pubs are not opening. Get drunk at home instead. It's not the pub, but it's the next best thing. Getting drunk at home. Paid for by the homes. Salmon of knowledge, just a salmon of knowledge, just a salmon of knowledge, just a salmon of knowledge, salmon of knowledge, salmon of knowledge podcast. Hey, salmon skins. How's it going? How's everyone doing? It's easing off. The lockdown is easing and people are uneasy, even though the hand that is COVID-19, as I call it, people have laughed at me when I said COVID, because it's very country. It's like saying lorry instead of truck, or garage instead of garage, because that's how Americans say garage. How do I know this? I was in America and they would laugh at me when I said garage. It's very, very awfully, very Midlands to say garage. Oh, yeah, come down to my garage. What the hell are you talking about? What are you now, French? No, I just, that's how you normally say it. Garage. Oh, you're becoming more French now, the more you say it. Oh, shut up, you. Listen, we have two identical voices. If I'm going to say garage, you're going to say garage as well. Leave me alone. I've been doing French lessons online. Garage is the first word I've learned. What are you talking about? I don't know. So, yeah, that's how you know. Like, that's how you get caught out if you're doing an American accent and you're Irish, like in a movie. If you're playing a gangster, it's like, yeah, I got a brand new set of wheels. It's out in the garage. My brother, he's a lorry driver. Hey, what the hell is a lorry? And they are, they're silly words, but I don't know. Like Americans say stuffed animals instead of cuddly toys. We say cuddly toys, which I think is a nice way of putting it, because number one, you're saying it's a toy, but more importantly, you're prefacing the word toy with cuddly. So you're saying, look, all of these toys are cuddly. That's what you're saying. You're not saying toys are tuddly. Because if something's tuddly, you don't want to go near it. Don't pick that up, it's all tuddly. Oh, God, I've got tuddly all over me fingers. You're going to have a bad time. That's what I'm saying. Because, right, I'm talking about Americans and American stuff because there's conflicting reports online as to the number of American tourists that are coming to visit Ireland. Now, the thing about Twitter is not real life. I've always said this. My Twitter account is generally always and always will be for silly things like, jokes. If I ever think of a joke, which is rare, I've got to come up with more jokes though, very quickly. More on that soon. I'll tell you why in a minute. But I just tweet out if I'm doing a show, which I haven't tweeted in months, or if I'm doing a podcast, or if I'm promoting a podcast, or whatever it is. Or, I take a picture of my face and it looks okay, so I put a filter on it to make it look razzmatazz. And I put that up and I say, look, love me, please. No one tells me I'm good and kind and funny anymore. But I don't really use it for opinions or, to give my hot takes on things. I have this podcast for that, to sort of vent about things like, why do they say that tiny bars of chocolate are fun size? There's no fun in that, in smaller amounts of chocolate, and so on. Or, why can't I freeze bananas? You can if you want to make a really poor ice cream substitute, which is what people suggest you do. If you freeze a banana and then eat it like it's an ice cream, which is just, it's bloody pathetic. You may as well just get an ice cream for all the. You're putting yourself to so much torture eating a frozen banana. They're not nice frozen. Some people don't like them when they're, I was going to say thawed. That's never an option when you're like ordering a banana from somewhere. Some really, really shitty restaurant. Like a post-apocalyptic restaurant, special of the day, bananas. Would you like that frozen or thawed? Well, what's the difference? The temperature. I tried it once. I froze banana in the fridge because someone somewhere online, probably on Twitter. See, this is why you can't trust Twitter. Said freeze a banana and eat it. It's just like an ice cream. It's not. But anyway, listen. Twitter is full of information. It's full of misinformation. And a lot of people would tweet out stuff that they would have heard from their brother's cousin's friend who knew a guard once, or, their auntie's uncle who was in a seance with an immunologist from the past, and they said that we're all doomed and American tourists are flooding into the country from hotspots like Texas and Florida. And, I don't know. I mean, am I happy about that? No, I'm not happy about that. A lot of people are saying we've done so much to flatten the curve. Why are we letting Americans in? But you hear some reports saying that, there's planes and there's only 16 people on the planes that are coming from America, and 12 of those are Irish people coming back to Ireland. I don't know if that's true. And then there's other reports that say, and there's other reports as well, but there's other reports coming from cows saying that there's hordes of American tourists just running wild on farms all across Ireland and milking them willy-nilly to get some of that sweet, sweet, warm, unpasteurized milk. It's just people are saying, there's 500 American tourists and they all came from Texas and they're all coughing and spluttering and they're out in Tato Park and they're just licking all of the rides. The roller coaster is just coated in infected American saliva. And do you know what? I don't know if that's true or not. I really don't. But I got a nice little sort of surprise today. It was kind of a surprise. I'd forgotten all about gigging. I had a bunch of gigs for starting in June, July, and a couple in September. Most of them were cancelled. I was going to be playing in Galway. I was going to be playing in Belfast. I was going to be playing in Dublin. I was going to be playing in Kilkenny for the first time. Not Kilkenny, but Kilkenny. The murderous alternate universe version of Kilkenny that is murdering itself. And all of a sudden, today, on Instagram, I was tagged in a post. Central Arts in Waterford, where last year I was support to my good friend Kevin McGarren on his solo polo tour, which he named in order to try and attract Italians to the gig, because they love, shows about chickens that are on their own. Lonely Chicken, the Lonely Chicken Show. I'm gonna go see that. Mama Bee, Baba Goob. And that's bad. I hope there's no Italians listening. Well, there's one Italian listening that I know of, and I apologise, Judy, profusely. So I'm doing my Edwin Salmon of Knowledge gig in Waterford Central Arts on the 10th of September, which is the Thursday. You can go online and get your tickets if you're in or about Waterford. I'm not 100% sure if it's going to be a socially distanced show. I know there's a gig on the week before that is socially distanced. It's a big enough room, as in you can kind of spread people out. I'm kind of nervous about it because I've only done the show once. I did it in Bray before lockdown, and I'm like, I don't know how to stand up anymore. I mean, I know how to stand up on my legs, but the old comedy thing. I mean, because I don't have any gigs to warm up for. It's just, warm up with rather. I'm all a-fluttered. You can hear it in my voice. I'm all a-flutter. But yeah, it's going to happen. It's going to be wonderful. I guess the adrenaline of it all. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to, write it out, try jokes out on Cara until she cannot take it anymore and punches me square in the head to tell me to stop. Anyway, guys, listen, I hope you're all doing okay. We have a special guest in the studio today. A lot of you may have heard him singing various songs, various unusual, we'll say, versions of songs, which is what my mother says when she gets a present that she doesn't like. She thinks it's code when she says, oh, a vase shaped like Colonel Gaddafi's head. Oh, very unusual. Yes, very unusual. Which is basically her code for I hate it, it's shit. But Brendan Blowhard, who has been singing various songs on the podcast and putting his own spin on things, to the point where I thought it would enter into parody. But apparently there is still some copyright issues when the pod goes up on YouTube. And that's just YouTube. I mean, I can't stop YouTube from their overly monetization of things and, saying, oh, you can't have that song because it's, even though he changes most of the lyrics. Look, he's been going through a hell of a time, but Brendan is through the other side of it. He tells me, but he's here now in studio. Brendan, thank you so much for coming in. Well, thank you for inviting me. It's just it's great to be here. It's wonderful to be in studio with you, even though I don't know if we should be. I mean, I know we're 6 feet apart, and I'm wearing a giant helmet that's made of foam. Yeah, it's the sound quality is very good coming out of you, but you must be warm in there. Oh yeah, the sweat coming in my eyes, and it's stinging my eyes. I can't. They say the eyebrows are the dam to the river that is the face. Who says that? I've heard it a few times. But once the flood waters get too much when you're sweating, and it just goes all over my eyes. As long as it doesn't go in me mouth and do me throat and ruin me money maker, as I call it. Your throat is your money maker? Yeah. I've been singing since I was a little boy. Really? Yeah. I've been, I think my first ever performance was when I was about 5 years old. I remember it well. I was in love with a girl. Her name was Bernice, and it was a very unusual name. And I spent a good week trying to rhyme things with Bernice. And it was very, very difficult. Yeah, I'd say so. Did you write the song in the end? Oh, yeah. I think of Bernice, if it's cold, I want to give you a fleece. And that was it, really. I just kind of repeated that over and over again because, when you hear the songs, like popular songs, they're very repetitive, They're just, they don't take long to write as far as I was concerned. So I thought, this is easy. Just get one rhyme and just go at it, hammer and tongs. Brendan, that's a lovely, heartwarming story. Now, you have been through the ringer recently. Yeah. And you have been you've been having a tough time. They say that you can't really sing a love song until you've fallen out of love. Who says that? I just heard it somewhere. I think it was maybe Bob Dylan said that. Bob Dylan said that you can't sing a love song until you fall out of love? Maybe. I don't know. Look, how is your relationship with Susan now? Well, for a long time, I tried to make Susan take me back. I tried to find common ground. I said I'd go to couples counselling. I didn't say that I'd talk during the counselling, but I said at least that I'd show up to the counselling. And you did show up? Yeah, well, I was there, a few times. I was very hungover because I was out partying, because I I wasn't under her thumb anymore. Well, did that go down well? I mean, that mustn't have been very nice for her. Yeah, I mean, she was furious about the whole thing. I mean, the whole thing was me being a wild man. I just living the rock and roll lifestyle. But, I thought that that's what you had to do in order to be a successful singer. Like, there's no successful singers that didn't have a wild time or a lost weekend. It's just my last weekend lasted for 14 to 18 months. 14 to 18 months. Yeah. I mean, I lost count of the time or the time of day or the month or the year. All those things. I mean, I hit the bottle fairly hard, really, yeah. Yeah, I slipped when I was drunk and I hit my head on the ground, and a bottle that was empty, that had been full of whiskey, but the whiskey now was in me, and that contributed massively to me slipping and falling over and hitting my head on the bottle and breaking it. And I was walking around for 2 days. Sorry, are you okay? Yeah, sorry, I get emotional when I'm talking about this. I was walking around, Ed, for 2 days with glass embedded in me skull. What? I know. And no one would say anything to me. None of me friends would say anything to me. And finally, one of me friends, Jono, says, what's with the glass in your skull? And I went, what? Jeez, no wonder me head's bleeding, killing me and bleeding. And I mean, I was shocked. I was absolutely shocked that it had taken that long. And it just showed me that I was hanging around with the bad crowd. I was hanging around with the bad crowd, and none of them had me back. I mean, probably a crowd that doesn't tell you when you've got glass embedded in your skull. That's a bad crowd. Yeah, that's what they say. They say if you're hanging around with friends who won't tell you the truth, who won't stand up to you, then you're just going to perpetuate your own misery. And that's what's happening. It was like if you've ever had a snot up your nose and you've been standing talking to a crowd of people. Yeah, that's happened many times. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And the crowd of people is talking to you, and you'd be talking to them for 20 minutes, half an hour. And then you say, excuse me, I'm just going to go have a little piddle in the little boys' room. And you go off for your piddle, and as you're doing your slash, and then you go to wash your hands, and you glance up at your face to make sure it's still there. You do the old face check. And then all of a sudden, there's a bloody snot up me nose, hanging down, like some sort of disgusting green bat hanging out of a cave that is my nostrils. And no one ever said nothing to me. And you almost want to go in and scream at your friends until you're blue in the face. And, that's what I did sometimes when they didn't point out that you had a snot up your nose. No, when I was drunk, I'm making the comparison, Ed. I'm making a comparison. But look, listen, I'm fine now. I'm on a new track now. I'm back singing. I know I haven't been on the show singing for a while. I brought in a song that I have. I'm trying to rebrand myself. What was your previous brand? My previous brand was the Irish Frank Sinatra, as in you're like a horrible man who drinks a lot and treats women badly. And no, not what are you talking about? Treats women badly. I was hard done by. I did everything I could, as far as I remember, to win Susan back, but she was done with me, and she, in fairness to her, she's still a young woman. She still has a lot of living to do. And she's with her new fella now, who's a fitness instructor. Who, I mean, I don't know what that is. I assume it's just someone who just shouts at people to get fit, and that. No, I think they work in a gym or whatever. All right, yeah. So she's happy. She's happy out. I'm happy out now. I don't want to be. I don't want to be the new Frank Sinatra. I want to be the new Tom Jones. Tom Jones, the famous Welsh singer. Yeah, he's famously Welsh, great singer. So I brought in, but I want to be edgy as well. So I don't want to be doing, Delilah or What's New Pussycat or any of those. I want to do some of the new jams that he did. And this jam, I love it. It's a sex bomb, but I've updated it in my own particular style. And, I've changed enough lyrics, hopefully, that you'll get past the whole fair usage thing and you'll be able to make some money off the podcast. I'm very concerned about you. Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, I do have a gig coming up in Waterford on September 10th. Tickets available online. Check out Central Arts Waterford website. Oh, that's a very organic plug. I know. Thanks very much for having me on. I've got to head off now. I'm meeting a few fellas just to see if I can, put a band back together, get back on the road once the pubs reopen, which is happening on August the 10th, I think, is when that's happening. So, thanks very much for having me. And I leave now before you get a chance to respond to the song. Bye! All right, see you. Thanks very much. Okay, so thanks, Brendan, for coming in. So this is Brendan Blowhard's version of Sex Bomb. Listen to this. I got bread from the supermarket today. I brought it home, then I ate it. What can I say? It's not the nicest bread I've had today. I'd really like some warm, fresh bread. I want some bread fresh out of the oven. Come on now, baby, give me some lovin'. I want to put some butter and watch it melt on my freshly baked bread. Sex oven, you're my sex oven. Preheat you to 200 degrees and cook you inside for 40 minutes. Sex oven, you're my sex oven. The skewer's clean, then you're done. If the skewer comes out clean, then you're done. I want some scones, I want some buns, I want an apple tart before the day is done. If you cook these and also a sponge, then I let you marry me. Give me a lot of tasty treats, extra sugar please, I don't have diabetes. I might have it by the end of the night, but baby, that's alright. Sex oven, you're my sex oven. Preheat you to 200 degrees and leave you inside for 45 minutes. Sex oven, you're my sex oven. If it's brown on top, then it's done. You can give it to me. I want buns. Sex oven, you're my sex oven. If the skewer comes out clean, then I'm done. Turn me over halfway through, I'm evenly baked. Sex oven, you're my sex oven, and you can give it to me when I need to come along. Sex oven, you're the sex oven, and make it 180 degrees. Sex oven, you're the sex oven. Preheat me to 200 degrees and leave me for 40 minutes. Sex oven, you're a sex oven. Turn me around so I'm done on both sides. I want an even bake done on both sides. If it's brown on top, if it's brown on top, if it's brown on top. I want an even baked on both sides. Sex oven. Right, so once again, Brendan has put his own spin on a classic song. Like, it's a great song, it's a floor filler. Sex oven, I suppose, is guess what he should have referred to it as. But, hey, look, that's how it goes. So maybe we'll have Brendan on again. I don't know. He's a bit of a loose cannon. But, I mean, what are you going to do? He's a friend of the podcast. He's not a friend of mine, but he's a friend of the podcast. And you know what? In the digital world, that's good enough. So we're going to take a little break, and we'll be back with this week's episode of Love Notes. It's the break time. Here it comes now. It's the break time. Oh, ho, ho, ho. It's the break time. Look at those things. Things that you might want to buy, like a car or a loan from a bank. Barry's Balloons is having a massive sale. All balloons catered for. Birthday balloons, bereavement balloons. Why have a funeral be a sad time when you can add some balloons into the mix? Balloons come in mournful black and grieving green. That's right, if you love balloons, get your ass down to Barry's Balloons. He'll inflate your dreams. And we're back from the break. Okay, and we're back. So, guys, thanks very much for tuning in to this week's episode. I'm going to leave you now. And take away the very part of me. So, no, I've got to go. So I hope you've been enjoying Love Notes. It's been getting a bit exciting the last couple of episodes. Last week's episode was very exciting, but of course it'll be a recap. So I will see you guys next week. If you want to become a patron of Edwin Salmon of Knowledge, you can go to Patreon and look me up. And for as little as 3 ducats a month, you can get extra stuff. There's lots of extra stuff, a couple of extra episodes up there, exclusive to the patrons. If you also want to check out Reviewables, which is my other podcast, which will be coming back for its new season in about a month. I co-host that with Hannah Mamalis and sometimes Andrea Farrell. And we are on the Head Stuff Podcast Network, so check that out and check out the Head Stuff Podcast Network. There's lots of great podcasts for you to enjoy. So, bye-bye-bye, and see you soon. Bye-bye-bye. Previously on Love Notes. It's me, Paul. I'm back in town. I've come here for me trumpet in Love Notes, the jazz club that I used to own that now you own, Tony. What are you doing back here? I told you, I'm coming back for my trumpet. And I'm going back to the fun fair that I bought. Anyway, I have feelings for Tina as well, but don't tell her that. Alright. Jesus, Tony, I can't believe Paul came back, got his trumpet, has gone up to the fun fair. We followed them up, pretending to be Italian people, and now we snuck into the tent and he's in cahoots with some witch called Cara. They have Miles Davis's trumpet and he's going to open a haunted jazz club. That's right, Tina. To rival your jazz club, Love Notes. That's right, Tina. That we both work in. That's right, Tina. That I used to be the trombonist in, but now I'm just a waitress. That's right, Tina. Also, I'm conflicted because Paul has feelings for me that he's been revealing to my doppelganger. That's right, Tina. And now, it's time for the latest revelations in our lives. We now return to Love Notes in progress. It's so great to be here. Thank you, Cara. I hope you all enjoy my boisterous laugh. So, minions, thank you all for coming. I know you are all true believers. We have waited a long time for this, but at last we have the artifact. Miles Davis's trumpet, which we will use in an incantation. Jesus, Tony, what's an incantation? Sure up, Tina. I'm having enough trouble listening to the plan without you looking for explanations as to what words are. Oh, sorry. Let's keep listening from our hiding spot here at the back of the tent. So, as I was saying, Miles Davis's trumpet will be used in an incantation in order to bring back the spirit ghost of Miles Davis. The ghost of Miles Davis? Jesus, I pay money to see that. Tina, what are you talking about? No one would pay money to see a ghost. I don't know. I think a lot of people would pay money to see a ghost. What are you talking about? I tell you what I'm talking about. Remember we had that moving statue? The moving statue of Louis Armstrong that we had on Love Notes before. Yeah, you remember.
Jazz fans from all over the world came to see that statue moving.
Yeah, well, I'll let you in a little secret. I don't think that was a moving statue.
What?
Yeah, Johnny was drunk one night and he said, I seen the statue moving, boss. I can't do his voice.
Jesus. So it wasn't moving?
No, his bloody head was shaking with the drink.
Fucking hell.
Tina, what's your language?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, God, we've missed everything Paul's after saying now.
Look, they're having egg mayonnaise sandwiches. The evil bastards.
Yeah, who eats egg mayonnaise sandwiches at an evil incantation meeting? They must be somehow cursed sandwiches. Look, Paul and Cara are leaving the tent. Let's swing around the back and see where they goes.
Paul, I'm so glad that you called me. This is a great opportunity for both of us, but for me especially, because I don't know if you know this. My ex-husband is Tony.
Tony's your ex-husband?
That's right. That means we used to be married.
Jesus, how long were you married for?
Too long. 6 months.
That's long enough.
Well, it felt like 2 years.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. You haven't aged a day, even though you've aged 2 years.
That was the last time you saw me. I was being run out of town.
Why?
Because people thought I was a witch.
But you are a witch.
I know. That's why it was so annoying.
Well, I'm glad you came back. Listen.
I'm listening.
I'm worried about your feelings coming up again.
What feelings? What are you talking about?
Your feelings for Tony.
Jesus, Tony, listen. She's talking about her feelings for you.
Yeah, will you sure up till I hear what she says about what her feelings are for me?
Well, me and Tony had quite the wild ride. It was a whirlwind romance. Well, for me it was. I don't know how Tony felt about it, but I'll tell you one thing. The man's a demon in the sack.
Well, that's always good to hear.
Oh, Jesus, Tony. I don't want to hear this. Some nights I'd have too much, but he'd be like, more. Use the toys.
Oh, Jesus, getting a bit personal now.
No, wait. I'm actually enjoying this bit. All kinds of French ticklers. The Black Mamba. The How You Doing. The How You Been. The Sex Explosion. We did all the moves. All the positions. Me on top. Him on top. Sideways.
Jesus. I mean, you don't have to tell me all this.
No. In fact, you know the phrase, ride me sideways?
Yeah. I'm familiar with it.
Yeah, we came up with that one.
So you're saying the sideways ride wasn't a thing until you and Tony invented it?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
All I'm saying is, I hope that your feelings for Tony don't confuse you with what we're trying to do here.
Look, I know exactly what we're trying to do here. We're getting the ghost of Miles Davis to come back and play his trumpet for the opening night of our new jazz club, Ghost Notes.
Yeah, I'm still not too sure about the name of the club.
Well, look, it's a work in progress. All I care about is the incantation going right tomorrow night at 8 o'clock here at the Fun Fair.
Yeah. Now, you said you needed something in order for the incantation to go right.
Yes, I do need something. Something's very important for tomorrow night.
Oh, what is it?
Listen, the incantation. It's going to be a success. I just wanted to wait until we were a day away from opening the club with the ghost of Miles Davis before I could tell you the one piece of the puzzle that we need. One extra piece of the puzzle that will make everything go smoothly.
And what's that?
I need a human sacrifice. What the hell's she talking about, Tony? A sacrifice? If it goes right, then the club will be a success and we'll put Tony out of business. And I don't like Tony.
Tell me something I don't know.
God, she doesn't like you, Tony.
Yeah, I know. I already know that.
What? What? Tony?
Cara?
Paul?
Tina?
Tony?
Tina?
Cara?
That's your name.
Oh, Jesus. What are you doing here, Tony?
I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm here to stop what you're doing.
Well, do your best.
I'm here to put this freak show on ice. Well, we hadn't planned to do any ice skating at the thing, but no, Paul.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about your incantation plans and your sacrifice and your Miles Davis's trumpet and the haunted funfair and everything that's been going on up to this point in our lives on Love Notes. All right, Tony. Maybe we can talk things out. Oh, really? Well, you know I have a gun. All right, calm down. Jesus, Tony, where'd you get that gun? I got it at the gun shop. So, back to the guns again, is it, Tony? You sure love your guns. Well, you've got guns, but I've got magic. And we'll see who'll win. Ha ha ha! What will happen next week in Love Notes? Will Tony shoot his gun? Will the incantation go ahead? What kind of snacks will be available and drinks at this new haunted jazz club? All of these questions and more you didn't want answered will be answered on next week's edition of Love Notes. There you go, guys. Wow. Unbelievable. Guns, people confronting people. I mean, that's the essence of pure drama right there. Another exciting episode next week. Guys, have a lovely weekend. Have a wonderful week. And I hope everyone's safe and well and coughing into their elbows and not touching or licking anyone's face. Unless, of course, it is consensual. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye, Salmon Skins. Good luck. Bye-bye. Good luck and good goodbye. That's it. Do you like milk? But do you think it's too cold? Well, take it straight from the teat. That's right, warm, unpasteurised milk. It's the new craze that's sweeping the nation and putting everyone's stomachs in a lather. And the only thing you want in a lather is your hands when you're washing them with soap to stop the COVID-19. Milk. It's better warm.